I thought I'd found the perfect place. Quiet, isolated, just what I needed after a long week of work. A small, cozy cabin tucked away in the woods. Kind of place where you could shut off your phone, forget about the world, and breathe for a while. When I arrived, the cabin looked exactly as it had in the pictures, rustic and charming. The host, a woman named Anna, had left a note on the table with a set of keys, a few instructions about the cabin, and a reminder to enjoy my stay. The place was remote, far enough from town that the only sounds I could hear were birds, wind rustling through the trees, and the occasional crack of wood in the fireplace. I had been there for a few hours, just settling in, when I first heard it. A faint creak from above me, like someone walking across the floor of the attic. I paused, thinking it was just the house settling. It was an old place, after all. But then it came again, louder this time, followed by the scrape of something heavy being dragged across the floor. I frowned. There was no way someone else was here. Anna had made it clear that the place was empty. At first, I tried to ignore it, but the noise kept coming, shuffling, dragging, like someone moving around in the dark. I went upstairs, checking every room, but found nothing. The attic door was closed and locked, the wooden floorboards creaking underfoot with each step. I figured it was just my mind playing tricks on me. Maybe the wind shifting something in the rafter. That night, as I tried to fall asleep, the noises continued. They were muffled, like someone was moving around, crawling in the dark. I gritted my teeth, pulling the covers up tighter, hoping it would stop. It didn't. The next morning, I decided to go out. The sounds had kept me up most of the night, but the daylight seemed to calm my nerves. I spent the day hiking, trying to get my mind off the strange noises. When I returned to the cabin around sunset, something was different. The living room looked untouched, but as I walked into the kitchen, my stomach dropped. The chair at the table was facing the wrong way. The window, which I was sure I'd closed before leaving, was now slightly open. I froze, scanning the room for any other signs that something wasn't right. Cabinet doors were ajar, some of the items on the counter had been moved. I felt a chill run down my spine. Was Anna playing some kind of joke on me? Why would she leave the door unlocked when she knew I was coming back? Why had everything been moved, like someone had been inside while I was gone? My first instinct was to leave, to pack up and drive away. But as I started toward the door, I heard it again. A faint creak from above. The attic. The noise was different now. It wasn't the slow, dragging sound I had heard before. This time, it was more frantic, like someone was pacing back and forth. I stood frozen in the hallway, my hand still on the door handle, staring at the attic door at the end of the corridor. I couldn't leave, not with whoever or whatever was up there. I grabbed a flashlight from the kitchen drawer, my heart pounding in my chest. The light from the beam trembled as I walked toward the attic door. I tried the knob. It was locked. That's when I heard something that made my blood run cold. A voice. It was a whisper, barely audible, but unmistakable. I see you. I recoiled, almost dropping the flashlight. The words echoed in my mind as my pulse quickened, and for a moment I was paralyzed. My hand shook as I turned the handle again, but it didn't budge. I backed away, my feet carrying me involuntarily toward the stairs. The floor above me creaked again, louder this time. The door to the attic seemed to groan under the weight of whatever was on the other side. I didn't know what to do. If I left, I'd feel like a coward, but if I stayed, I had no idea what I was dealing with. I found the number for the host and dialed it, my fingers trembling. The phone rang for several long moments before Anna's voice picked up. "Hello? Hey, Anna," I said, trying to sound calm, but my voice betrayed me. I'm hearing some strange noises from the attic. Is the place, safe? Is there anyone else here?" There was a pause on the other end. Then she said, quietly, almost calmly, "No one should be in the house, no." "I'm sorry. Did you check the attic door? It's always been locked." I looked at the attic door again, heart hammering in my chest. "It is locked," I said, voice tight. "But I'm hearing something. Up there. It's like someone's up there. Please, Anna, tell me what's going on." There was a long silence, and then she spoke in a low, almost whispering tone. "I'm sorry. I should have told you before. There was someone who stayed there before you. He disappeared, and we think he's still up there." My breath hitched in my throat. What do you mean he's still up there? Is someone? Before I could finish my sentence, the attic door burst open. I didn't see the person come down, but I heard their footsteps slow, deliberate as they crept toward the stairs. And that's when I saw him. A man. His face was pale, gone hollow, as if he hadn't seen sunlight in years. His eyes, wide and unblinking, fixed on me with an unsettling stillness. He wasn't wearing shoes, his bare feet barely making a sound on the floorboards. I see you, he whispered again, his voice like sandpaper on glass. My body moved before my brain could process the terror coursing through me. I didn't think. I ran. The last thing I heard before I slammed the front door behind me was his voice, creeping from the shadows of the hallway. Don't leave. I'm not done yet.